Cammy standing on the edge of her biggest gamble yet in Landman Season 2. Episode 8 feels less like a bold business move and more like a moment of quiet desperation finally coming to the surface. This isn't the kind of risk taken from confidence or vision. It's the kind that happens when every safer option has already failed, and pride won't allow retreat. Episode 8 makes it painfully clear that whatever Cammy is about to do could cost her not just control of MTEX, but her identity, her authority, and possibly the company itself. What makes this moment so unsettling is that Cammy knows the danger. This isn't ignorance or naivete. She understands the numbers, the leverage, and the power dynamics at play. And yet, she moves forward anyway. That's what transforms this decision from calculated risk into personal reckoning. Cammy isn't just betting the company. She's betting that she's smarter, tougher, and more capable than everyone warning her to slow down. At the center of this risk is Galino. By episode 8, Galino is no longer just a financial partner. He's a structural presence inside MTEX. His money has gone from lifeline to backbone, and that's a terrifying shift. Cammy tells herself she's still in control, but the show keeps dropping subtle reminders that control is already slipping. Every deal Galino touches tightens his grip, and episode 8 suggests Cammy may be about to hand him exactly what he needs to take the company from her without ever formally asking. The tragedy is that Cammy believes she has no choice. The offshore disaster, the insurance uncertainty, Tommy's instability, and mounting operational pressure have boxed her in. From her perspective, hesitation equals collapse. Moving forward feels like strength. But the episode carefully reframes that mindset as dangerous. When every decision is driven by fear of failure, even smart leaders start making reckless moves. What's especially telling is how isolated Cammy has become by episode 8. She no longer truly listens to dissenting voices. Warnings from Rebecca, concerns from legal, and even Tommy's objections are all filtered through the same internal narrative. They don't see what I see. That mindset is a red flag in leadership, and Landman treats it as such. Cammy isn't surrounded by advisors anymore. She's surrounded by obstacles. This is where ego quietly becomes the episode's most powerful antagonist. Cammy doesn't want to be the person who lost MTEX. She doesn't want to admit that her strategy might be flawed. And she definitely doesn't want to acknowledge that Galino's involvement could be more dangerous than helpful. So instead of reassessing, she doubles down. Episode 8 frames this not as courage, but as refusal to confront reality. The risk she's about to take also exposes a fundamental misunderstanding about leverage. Cammy believes that as long as she signs the papers and sets the terms, she holds the power. Galino understands something she doesn't. Leverage isn't about contracts, it's about timing. He's patient. He doesn't need immediate control. He just needs Cammy to keep choosing short-term survival over long-term autonomy. Episode 8 strongly implies she's about to do exactly that. Tommy's role in this moment is especially painful. For all his flaws, he recognizes what this risk could mean. His objections aren't rooted in insecurity, they're rooted in experience. He's seen what happens when money dictates decisions instead of values. But by this point, his voice carries less weight with Cammy, partly because of his own leadership failures. The irony is brutal. Tommy may be right now, but he's lost the credibility to stop her. This decision also threatens to undo everything Cammy has tried to build as a leader distinct from Tommy. She wanted to be the one who made the hard calls, who stabilized the company, who proved she could navigate crisis without emotion. Episode 8 suggests that in trying so hard to be unshakable, she's becoming rigid, and rigidity breaks under pressure. What raises the stakes even further is the implication that this risk may be irreversible. Once Galino crosses a certain threshold of influence, there's no clean exit. No apology. No buyback. No reset. Cammy isn't just making a risky move. She's stepping through a door that may lock behind her. The episode treats this with chilling restraint, letting the audience feel the weight of what she's about to sign away without spelling it out in dramatic terms. There's also a haunting parallel between Cammy's decision and the offshore rig disaster. Both stem from pressure. Both involve pushing forward despite warning signs. Both prioritize momentum over caution. Landman subtly asks whether Cammy is repeating the same mistake at a higher level, risking catastrophe because stopping feels like weakness. What makes episode 8 so compelling is that it doesn't frame Cammy as a villain. She isn't malicious. She isn't greedy. She's scared. She's tired. She's trying to hold everything together while the ground shifts beneath her feet. That humanity makes the risk more tragic, not less. You can understand why she's doing it, and still see how badly it might end. The most chilling possibility raised by episode 8 is that Cammy may lose MTEX without a dramatic takeover or hostile coup. She may lose it quietly, through clauses she underestimated, through dependencies she normalized, through compromises she told herself were temporary. That kind of loss is harder to fight because, by the time you realize it's happening, it's already done. Season 2, Episode 8 positions this moment as a turning point. Not just for the company, but for Cammy herself. After this decision, there may be no version of MTEX that belongs to her in the way it once did. And the cruel irony is that she'll believe she made the choice to save it. In the end, Cammy's biggest risk isn't trusting Galino. It's trusting that she can control something designed to outgrow her. Episode 8 makes it painfully clear that leadership isn't just about making bold moves, it's about knowing when boldness becomes blindness. And if Cammy takes this step, she may finally discover that saving a company at all costs can be the fastest way to lose it.